WorthWhile brand that I hope you understand. Work hard, play hard, get up, stack bands. Time to get up, then slap your hands. Chillin' in the club with all my friends. Living in the moment, hope it's never gonna end. Love a new beginning, but I skip to the end. I listen to the beat, I hope to ascend. I hope to cherish, and I hope to win.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into this week's WorthWhile Spotlight. Today I'm excited to introduce the guest, JStrikkee. Oh my God, thanks for coming on.
Man.
How are you feeling right now? How's the day been?
Man, it's been good, man. It's currently like 10 a.m. So
11.
11. Golly. I'm feeling really good. I'm glad to be here. Shout out to you for inviting me out here, man.
Appreciate it. So, videographer and photographer.
Yeah.
How long you been in that game? I mean, like, talk to me how that got started.
I got into photography my senior year in high school. You know, I kind of just started off as just me, just creating for fun, you know, and it got time to graduate, so I had to think about what am I going to get into. And I remember I was in college, I was in this film crew, and COVID happened. So we got into that pandemic, and I remember checking my bank account, it was like $1,200 in there, and I was like, bro, what am I gonna do with this? So I took that and I bought my first camera with that. And ever since then, like, I just ran with it, and it's just been a blessing, for real.
What about before getting into photography? And did you start with photography or videography?
Nah, man. I didn't start with. I just started just creating, like, that could be music, graphic design, and I don't know. I just always had that creative mindset.
What was the first, like, creative outlook or, like, expression?
Probably music.
Music?
The songs was terrible, but hey.
Was rapping?
It was rapping.
Okay.
Rapping.
Oh, I didn't know.
I can't rap no more.
Track.
Yeah.
But so, what'd you write about? Was it like an outlet for you, or was
it was just more just fun, just having fun with my friends, and speaking what comes to mind. And half of the things I said was not true,
Hey, but I mean, so, it served as an avenue, which I feel like led to more and more, and you might tap back into that in the future.
Yeah, it led to bigger things, because music really led to me to picking up my camera, because I realized, like, Cole Bennett was a huge inspiration for me. Seeing him work with unknown artists and turning them into, like, big names, that was like
through the music video.
Yeah, through music video, and I was like, bro, if he can do that, I could probably do that.
See, it's interesting because, like, there's so many, I feel like, stories that you hear that people see, like a mentor, like an inspiration, and then you're like, I could do that too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially with WorthWhile, that's how it started. Like, my boy Harlan had a brand called Modern Hippie, and it was the first thoughts were like, man, like, he's got a clothing brand, like, why can't I, or why can't we? So that's interesting. It's wild. But, like, some context on, like, how we got to know each other, bro. Like 5 years ago,
that's crazy.
Boys and Girls Club was speaking there about WorthWhile. Like, out of everyone there, like, we hit it off. The connection wise, I remember sitting there chatting with you. Like, you want to get into Twitch streaming.
Yeah.
And then, like, that right there is passion, though.
Yeah, it was.
I noticed that then. I was like, you're passionate. You wanted to do something.
Right.
So, like, from that time frame, I mean, we stayed connected, and then, like, it's wild to watch you grow, because, like, just from then, like, you're like, I want to be a Twitch streamer, and then from now, like, now you're flying out almost every weekend, doing different shoots and videography shoots and stuff like that. What's your favorite place you've gone so far?
Probably Vegas.
Vegas? That was recent too, right?
Yeah, that was recent. Yeah, I went to Vegas twice in a row, both weekends. And the second time I went out with Shaq Mason. Shout out to him, such a great person. And we had one of the best times I ever had in my life. So
what all did you shoot out there?
Man,
what was it for? I mean, they were having like a training camp?
Nah, man, it was just a day in the life, man. Just having fun, man. Yeah, we got to see Chris Brown. And then we just turn it up, man.
That's wild. That's wild. Yeah. Was that your first time in Vegas?
Nah, that was my second time. Okay. Man. First time I went with the family.
What was your thoughts of Vegas in general? Man, it's a wild. It's like an adult amusement park.
Vegas is wild, man. If you're not 21, do not go to Vegas. If you're not 21.
How old are you?
19.
19. Okay, that's 19. What I was thinking.
Yes,
bro, you got so much that's gonna unfold for you. Like, I'm still. I know, like I said, so much has happened now, but, like, I can't wait to watch the journey. Like, unfold. What's your favorite style to shoot in?
Favorite style. I don't know. I kind of like a simple look. If you're talking about, like, the look of, like, my photos, I kind of go, like, the simple look and just very clean, and not too much. So that's my type of style.
Nice. What are your thoughts like going forward as far as like do you kind of just go with the flow? You go with the flow person, or are you kind of like planning?
Nah, I don't plan. I'm a believer, so I truly believe if you're planning for your life, God is just laughing at it. Because I didn't plan in so many things, and it never went with the flow. The plan never succeeded. So you have to just go with the flow with things because you're able to learn so much, and just walking in the unknown, you learn so much through that, man.
See, but that's wild. Like you're young, you have, and like I'm not that much older, but it's like that mindset a lot of people don't have.
Right.
Where do you think that developed from?
Man, the Bible.
Really?
Wisdom. It's free game, man.
Yeah.
And just learning from others too. Like, I learned from so many people, and they could be non-successful or they can be successful. I'm gonna learn something from you, so that.
Do you read a lot outside the Bible?
Yeah, I do read a little bit, but I listen to some podcasts. But yeah, I do read.
You listen to the WorthWhile? No.
WorthWhile, yeah. Hey, we're listening to that right now. Yeah.
What's some of your favorite podcasts?
Some of my favorite podcasts, you got different from, I forgot their names, but I don't know, it'd be mad random. So I
just
really
kind of like however.
Yeah,
like
whatever pops up
on
on my podcast thing, I just click on it. So yeah.
Outside of Cole Bennett, but that's Lyrical Lemonade, right?
Lyrical Lemonade.
Outside of him, you got any mentors or like inspiration?
Yeah, we got Valandis, man. He's like one of the best, black photographers to ever pick up a camera, and like he's just been inspiration from like the jump of photography. And then you got people down here in Colombia, that's a very inspiration, like Jupiter.
You mentioned him.
Yeah, I remember he took my senior photos, and like he gave me like the what's the word, the inspiration,
okay,
or
yeah,
just to pick up a camera, because I never seen someone like do photography like that. It's my first time meeting a photographer, so I started to do some wedding shoots with him, and he
kind of like took you under his wing.
Yeah, he led me to so many like opportunities. So shout out to him.
So what was that the incident that like led you to like I kind of want to look into photography?
Maybe kind of, yeah, because like photography, I don't know, like at first, I wanted to shoot music videos, but as I got stronger with my faith with God, things changed a lot. God gave me like a route. And so when I started to shoot like other things, it gave me like hope to like, I want to just continue to shoot, and I want to shoot other things besides music videos. So that's when like I started getting under Juke, because he shot weddings, and I was like, I think I want to kind of do this,
How do you like shooting the weddings? I feel
weddings is dope, man. It's very beautiful, like I love weddings. Literally shot 2 weddings back to back last weekend, so that was dope.
I feel like I would be stressed out, like with like, because I'm not. I mean, I got a camera, but I've never really shot or anything like that. But I feel like there's so much to capture.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but if you love what you do, it's nothing. It's just you're having fun with it.
Do you are you into meditation?
Meditation?
Yeah. Or what's your form of meditation? Your time?
Probably listening to music, man. Like I be in deep thoughts listening to music. Music plays a big role on my creative life and just about me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a different form of expression.
Yeah, it is. It is.
What do you I already asked that kind of like big picture wise. Like what do you see? I mean,
see like with life.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's kind of hard to plan, but like, what was the moment that did you start planning, and then like God was like, no, this is not what you're gonna do. Like, when did you realize that perspective of like, I can't necessarily plan. All I can really do is be present.
Yeah, probably like a lot of things. Sports. Stocks. I was just trying out a lot of things. Because at the time, we was in quarantine. Like we was in the house for 6 months. So I had a lot of time to my hands of just trying out things. And I realized, I just need to stick to one thing. And, I look at life as, steps, just constantly taking steps. And like throughout each step, you got to learn. It's something to learn, you know. That's why I don't like to rush life. I don't like to rush nothing, because if you're leaping like to steps, you're going to eventually like fall and hurt yourself, you know, and then you're going to have to reset. But there's nothing wrong with like resetting, because that's when you really like go at it again.
Have you had speed bumps of like, I don't know what it would be, just I guess failures at some points that you've like questioned like going forward, like photography and videography?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What'd that look like?
Probably like when I didn't have the best gear, you know. I was, you know, just, I remember like when I bought my very first camera, you know, I was just looking at others, you know, and just like realizing like, bro, why can I not produce work like that and that? And like when I realized I had everything I needed, you know, and once I started picking up my camera, it was terrible. My pictures was terrible, you know, but that's the thing about it. When you first start, it's not going to be the prettiest. That's why I tell people, whatever you want to get into, get it over with, you know, go ahead and start, because it's not going to be your best work, you know, it takes time. So, you know, that first year of photography was pretty rough, you know, trying to get at it full time out the rip, you know, like that's very impossible. But, you know, yeah, whenever I first started picking up my camera, that's when it was ugly.
I feel like too, though, man, it's important. I feel like that you are doing it as that form of expression, instead of like, this is exactly how I'm going to make money. Like your thoughts aren't focused on the money. It's like the creative outlet.
Yeah,
would you agree with that? Or like,
oh yeah, facts, man. Because, you know, I believe that you will be rewarded, and what's yours will come. Because, you know, if you're focusing on the money, you're just going to get burnt out. You know, you're just going to hurt yourself. And if you're like just doing it for the passion and the love for it, it takes you a long way, you know, and I realized that.
What's the day-to-day of like the life of JStrikkee?
Like
if someone was flipping the script and they were videoing you, like what?
Man, y'all gonna see me probably editing all day, or just randomly doing a shoot. Like when I wake up around like 7 a.m., first thing I do is like probably edit photos, you know, because I don't know, I just truly enjoy laying in bed and just editing my photos. Then I get up and, you know, I check the schedule, see if I have any shoots. If I don't, I'm editing some footage from last week. You know, it's just always me creating. Like, I'm always creating.
Do you have a morning routine outside of the editing?
Yeah, I usually, well, like say if I'm not editing, then I'll go like work out, go to the track, because I love to run, you know. Something.
And I've noticed you do a bunch. I feel like track videos. I see that's like.
Yeah, because like I ran track and field in high school, and I do a lot of, you know, track athletes. So I started creating with them first, and that led to basketball, then to football.
Would you say sports is like one of your favorites? Like,
yeah, I love sports, because sports, everyone got a story.
Yeah.
You know, of how they made it. You know, it's a beautiful thing. So sports is something I love to shoot.
What I mean, I guess you kind of answered that, but like. That's what I was thinking, like, what about the people? What's your favorite story or, like, person that you've shot? Because I feel like what I've seen you do, like the individual, not like, you know, the entire football game or something like that. Like, what's your favorite, besides Shaq? I guess Shaq might be up there.
Shaq is definitely up there. But if I had to bring up one person, it would definitely be Dylan Cruz. You know, Dylan, he got a dope story, man, and, you know, his story really helped me out a lot. You know, just seeing him continue to go, one of the strongest dudes I know, like physically, one of the strongest dude I know, and just seeing him transform his body to what he has now is like crazy. You know, you probably think he did steroids, but he didn't, man. It was just hard work and consistency. I bet he's at the gym right now. You know, like.
Probably. I feel like every time I've been there, bro, he's there.
Yeah, he is there. He lives there, man, and he's gonna be very big one day.
Oh yeah. And his reels, he's been really focused on.
Yeah, he's been popping. I'm telling you, what's yours is going to come. So I tell him that, you know, just keep going.
How did y'all meet?
So we accidentally met like at one of my shoots. So Spring Hill Spider-Man, which is my cousin.
Okay.
He bought a new motorcycle. And, you know, he wanted me to vlog him, you know, go picking up the motorcycle. But we had to think about, like, the driving and stuff. And Isaiah, he only knew one person that he could call on, and you know that was Dylan, and that shows you a lot. You know, Dylan's going to show up and he's going to help.
Nice. Are you born and raised here? Columbia?
Yeah, born and raised in Columbia. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you ever wanted to leave?
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Like I probably want to get out next year.
Where do you want to go?
I really want to go to the city because that's where I see myself just, you know, being big, and just the people that's in the big cities, you know, like-minded people. I need to be around those type of people.
Connections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you do any like networking groups or anything like that? I mean, obviously you're networking every time you do an event, but
you know, sometimes I reach out to people. Like I'm linking up with this creative entrepreneur Wednesday. We're gonna chop it up.
Nice. From here? Or?
No, he's in Nashville.
Nashville. Mm-hmm. Bro, that's wild. Like I said, it's inspiring. I know it's like like for me, it's inspiring just to watch you grow, and like just the fact that like we were sitting like in Boys and Girls Club, and it's like I don't know, it's wild.
Nah, Tyler, you're probably like one of the most consistent dudes I know. You know, just seeing you grow your brand, you know, for like 7 years, you know, that's crazy. You know, because running a brand it's not easy. You know, just getting up every day and choosing to do this, you know, it's not easy. So.
Well, I feel like you understand the concepts of what worthwhile means, like self-worth.
Yeah.
Like, did you always have that mindset, or do you think that it developed?
I mean, I don't know, because it's just probably like when I was just young, you know, I was just always stood out. I'm not talking about like talented wise. I always felt different, you know, just, you know, I always stayed to myself, but I didn't stay to myself. I was always around people, but when I was around people, I always felt isolated. And so I realized that, hey, like my worth is like different from others, you know, so I have to value that. You know, I got to see that at an early age, so, you know.
What age would you say?
Probably like around high school when I started music. It wasn't the best, but I started to realize, hey, I have worth, you know, I have, you know, something, you know, I could turn it to something, you know.
That we touched on that at Planet Fitness that one day.
Yeah.
Where do you think that came from? Like
what the self-worth?
Because obviously it was like it was there, but then you started noticing it. Like, what were the signs that you started like picking up on it?
Probably just seeing others, you know, seeing how.
Would you say like the way other people were thinking?
Yeah.
Or like how they're carrying themselves, or like.
Yeah, the characteristics, and just I don't know, just seeing other people's lifestyles, man. Realizing like, bro, like if they could do it, I could do it, you know, and just seeing that.
Nice. What's hit me with a question. Change it up, bro. Whatever it may be, we can get conspiracy.
Right.
We can be like whatever.
Yo, so what's next for the brand, man? Like,
bro, I'm about to. I don't know if I told you at Planet Fitness about
you did,
like,
but I probably forgot about it.
Man. Trying to sell everything I own and doing the podcast on the go.
Right, man. This man, I'm telling you, bro. He's gonna be big, dude, because that's just you're taking a big risk right there. I really feel like it's a good risk, you know.
But see, to tie that back, it's the faith aspect, like that belief in the higher power. Like I feel inside of me like that's what's supposed to happen, and I feel like that's what you feel as well. Like when you're saying like you feel that worth. Yeah. That and I don't want to say that in like an egotistic way, because like everybody has that. Right. But I feel like you have to find it or discover it. Yeah. I don't know. It's a wild time frame.
Yeah, facts. I mean, like people who really don't like, you know, value themselves, you know, they're too caught up into things, you know, and they have to break apart, and they have to start asking themselves questions like, yo, so what I want to do with my life, you know, what do I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have it all figured out. Nobody got it all figured out, but you do have to take action on your personal life and who do you want to be, you know, because we all have a purpose on this life. You know, like I said,
where'd that come from? That mentality.
That mentality.
Yeah, because like that. Like I said, bro, you're 19. That's you know, quotations young. It's just an age, but like not everybody's thinking like that. And
right.
That came from you had to figure that out. Yeah. Somehow.
I mean, like I don't know. Just listening to others, like because it's some very like successful people, and just most importantly, just you know. Seeking God, you know, like, cause like, let me tell you my Christ story, you know, like, you know, me finding God, because I remember, you know, my grandma used to tell me something when I was very young. She always used to tell me to be a godly man, And you know, I never understood that when I got to high school. You know, I just forgot about it. I knew what it was. I just forgot about it when I got to high school because I was getting too caught into other things. And eventually, it got to a point where like it came back to mind, like what my grandma used to tell me. And then like 2020, like I dug deep into it, and like I was like, man, it's time to really like become that godly man. And things really started evolving. God just started like showing me things, you know, and just giving me the mindset I need to, you know, get through things. You know, my preacher said it best. He was like, you know, if you want wisdom, you know, you have to fear God. You know, and that's where wisdom comes from. Fearing God. You know.
It's powerful. So, but I feel like that, I don't know, you got that. There's a seed in you that's like that's growing, and like it's like. It's wild to see, and that's why like I'm asking these like questions to try and like I feel like there's like a pinpoint like thing, and I don't know specifically how to describe it, but you know what I mean? Like
kind of, yeah.
There's let me try to see. Let me think. Like I don't know. I mean, I guess it really just comes down to like everything's just experience. I mean, like everything just keeps happening and understanding as you keep taking those steps, like you were saying. Like, I mean, it's just nonstop growth, and you'll understand more in 2 years, and understand more in 3 years, and like the same thing with everybody. I mean, anyone listening, anyone that's watching, whatever it may be. What would you give someone at your age, advice-wise, that may be lost of like, I don't know what I want to do? Because like you said, you got to ask yourself like, who do you want to be?
Right. Well, you know, if you don't know what you want to do, you know, you have to start experimenting. Like, you know, like kind of like here's a analogy for it. You know, think of it as a buffet. You know, you go out to eat. When you go to a buffet, you just try out different foods, and you just keep trying foods until you have that good plate. And you know, you have to look at life like that, just trying a lot of things out. You know, and write down what you like and write down what you don't like. And you have to look at that list and go after the things that you really like. You know, it's just... Are
you a big writer of things?
Nah, but I did that at first. You know, I started writing down like my dislikes and what I like. You know, photography is one of my best likes. So
you circled it. You're like, I'm going to keep circling it back.
Yeah.
I think there's power in that. I mean, I think writing something down is the purest form of like manifestation.
Yeah,
like you're taking something out of your head and writing it down. It's just words on a piece of paper, but like it's not a thought.
Nah, because I wrote down some goals at the beginning of this year, and I looked at that list, and I have like a couple of things from that list, you know, and it's very powerful.
Like checked off.
Yeah, checked off. You know, I was like, oh my God. You know, like
did you like were you consciously like aiming to knock them out, or you just look back and they were done?
No, I kind of like because like when I wrote down those goals, I already knew that I was aligned with those goals. Yeah. I knew they was gonna come. You know, I just have to just keep going. You know, that's the thing. You shouldn't be have to like chasing after things. You know, whatever you're doing, you should just be. Everything should add. You know, like whatever you're doing. Like if you're living your life right, your habits is right. What you're doing, like your habits, and you know, say if I want to be in a professional sports, you know, like I have to make sure I'm working every day with it, you know, like I'm not just going after the NFL, knocking on their door and asking, can I be there? Like, nah, you gotta work hard to it, you know, because that's just how everything comes.
That's powerful, but not that many people are writing stuff down like that.
Yeah, you gotta start writing because it's powerful. It's like in writing, man.
I think. Where'd you pick that up from? Where'd you get
Probably,
that?
Probably Think and Grow Rich.
See?
Think and Grow Rich, man.
That's a book right there, bro.
Yes, sir.
So you ended like reading. See?
Like, Think and Grow Rich was powerful, you know, just listening to that like on the way to college. It was.
See, that was Think and Grow Rich was the second book that I read, I think, that really like changed my mindset. Right. It's like that is like the concept of like writing something down. It's the way you're thinking. It's the thoughts. That's why it's like I remember when I first read that book, or like just seeing the title, I'm like, Think and Grow Rich. Like, what does that mean? But like, that's the habits of continuously telling yourself the same thing or writing it down, like seeing it, and it starts to kind of manifest itself, and then it's up to you or us to stay on that middle path of righteousness to get to that goal. And I feel like that's a consistent, you get knocked off like left and right, and you have to continuously focus to make that happen.
Right.
What other books? See, there's a couple in there, brother.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
See, that's
a good book right there. And then Russ got a book.
Get Out of Your Own Way.
Yeah, get out. Yeah.
Bro, that's
Get Out Your Head, something like that. That's a good book too.
There's three.
Because it's true, like, you know, all the things, like, bro, like, your mind is so powerful, man. Like, I'm telling you, and like, it has a lot to do with my, you know, my creative skills, you know, just seeing things and, you know, kind of bringing them to life. You know, that's what kind of really made me get into photography, because I would have visions, you know, of things and try to bring them to life, you know.
Like what? What kind of like visions?
You know, music videos, you know, like when I listen to music, I would think of a music video in mind. I was like, bro, I need to buy a camera so I can bring this to life.
So like you'll hear a song and like while you're listening to it, you can like, oh, this would be cool for that.
Yeah.
See, that's powerful right there.
Yeah.
Nice. So how did it feel when your first music video?
Ooh, my first music video, I think I remember it was at my friend's house, because he had recorded this song. It was so fire. But publicly don't like that. It was just me being a really nice friend. But I was like, bro, this is really fire. And like, we got put together a music video. And I remember going over his house, and he had this iPad, and I was just recording on that. And then I brought back the footage and started editing on my PS4.
On the PS4,
on
really?
The PS4, I was editing on the PS4.
Well, like how that
they had
work?
They had this program called Share Factory.
Okay.
Yeah, but the people that play PlayStation knows about it.
You said, I got PlayStation, but I don't know about it. I don't know.
Yeah, Share
That's
Factory.
wild.
Mm-hmm.
See right there, the growth that's happened.
Yeah.
Like now you.
I was editing on PS4s, yo. Like,
I've never heard that even happen. That's wild.
Editing on the PS4.
That you see, but you made it happen, and like. You could have just like went home and be like, oh, I don't have anything to edit this with. But you're like, how?
Yeah.
How can I edit this? And you started questioning, and you found
found the way, you know.
How did it feel? Well, I guess I don't know if you answered it then or not necessarily, but how did it feel like when you seen the final product?
Man, I was like,
I create that.
I was amazed, man. But I knew that I had way more work to do, and that's the thing. You don't want to get too, you know, proud of yourself. Like, I'm never proud of myself. I mean, I kind of pat myself on the back sometimes, but I'm not always proud of myself, because I know I have so much work to improve, you know.
Like there's something next.
Yeah, it's always something next. And I don't care what level you're at in life. You could be Elon Musk. He still has something to prove and to work on.
Like,
you
get
know?
to Mars.
It's never a limit, man.
After we get to Mars, bro, then it's gonna be like, all right,
Pluto.
we're going back to Earth. No, yep.
Jupiter.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's always something.
What influences outside of photography you got any?
Daniel Allen. I'm terrible with names, but you know, he's like he's an entrepreneur. Now he's probably a full-time investor, but you know, he's a Christian, and like, he's a multi-millionaire. You know, seeing someone who's rich and a Christian is a huge inspiration, because you know, when you're in the church, they say you can't be rich. You know, the money is the root to all evil. But I don't believe that at all.
It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool, and that's one of his favorite messages. Is money is a tool to help you get something. You know.
So you take that though, and like, I don't know, you get the golden nuggets from people.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I told you, I learned from people that's not even successful.
Yeah.
You know, like, I learned from homeless people. I'll just come up to people and just say something, man, because you never know who you're talking to. You never know.
Not trying to like flip it onto like me by any means, but like during our like time at Boys and Girls Club, like, what did you take from there?
Man,
I feel like you were aware of it. How old would you have been then? That was 5 years ago, so you were 14.
Yeah, 14. Man, I took a lot from you. I was like, oh man, like, this dude over here building his brand, you know. Like, it was my first time ever seeing someone, you know, with the clothing brand in person. You know, I was like, oh, this is really dope. And you know, it gave me the inspiration to build something, you know.
And I feel like at the same time, like you said, you probably had the same thought. I mean, you started your own clothing brand as well.
Yeah, I started my clothing brand too. So
I
I probably got that from you, like, to be honest.
You probably, I mean, like, he's doing stuff, like, why can't I?
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if anyone else took anything that day. Like how wild would that be though if it was just you that received something though?
I think I was the only one paying attention in that class. You know, I looked at the photo not too long ago. I noticed how I was just staring.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
When we pulled it up the other day. You were zoned in.
I was focused, man. I was learning. I was just being that sponge, just soaking in everything.
Nice, and it shows, bro.
Yeah,
it shows. Here's we can do the awkward silence. Like the break the fourth wall. Look at the camera.
Girl. No, Jesus.
No, so yeah, how you feeling now?
I'm feeling good, man. I was nervous at first, but you know I'm feeling.
It's weird though, cause like it's almost like we end up getting like zoned in. Like it's like it goes from everything. I've noticed from doing a couple in the past. It's like everything's here, and then like throughout it, it's just like we're zoned in, and it's like tuned in. Do you want to dabble in the conspiracies at all, bro? You want to dive into that?
Oh, shoot, man.
It's on you if you want to or not. We can.
Yeah, it's a bunch of conspiracies, you know. But you know, you can go first. You know.
No, that's a deep thing. I mean, so what are we talking about? Like you talking about like Joe Rogan vibe of like stuff or like?
I don't know. I like to be like real world problems, like the real problems,
like what?
Like conspiracy, like. I don't know how, like, I don't know how to, there's so many holes with it.
There really is.
We could, like, dig into, you know, but I want to hear it, like.
Actually, breaking the wall again, I had Aaron on the podcast yesterday. I had this huge theory. I'm not going to get into that whole thing again, but I think, all right, I got something. The suppression of people's growth through the media. I think that there's an agenda, not necessarily an agenda, I guess it would be, but I think that we as individuals are extremely powerful as like just human beings, not even necessarily individuals. And I think that there's a lot of like, you know, negativity thrown out and distractions and stuff like that to prevent you to becoming the best version of yourself.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's nonstop. I mean,
it's not even social media. It's food too. Like it's food. It's entertainment. It's a lot of
going on the food thing. Cause I got some stuff on the food aspect as well.
Okay.
Like,
oh shoot.
Like what do you think? What have you seen about that?
Man, that we eating the same thing, like we throw away, you know, like basically like recycling like what we eat, you know, especially fast food because they have like such an infinite number and it's just a huge quantity of like food. Like ain't no way they're getting that from an animal. You know, they're taking it from the trash cans and they're creating it into something.
That's actually wild to think about.
Yeah.
Because some places too though, there's some restaurants and stuff that there's like waste bins.
Ooh.
You're like I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, I ain't finna eat today.
but I mean for real though, like big picture wise, like if you look at our bodies and like as a machine, like what are you putting in or engine? Like you putting bad oil in the engine or you putting gas in the engine? Like whatever you're putting in is what it's gonna run off of.
Yeah.
And if you're putting in, you know, processed foods and things that aren't naturally grown and stuff like that, it's got GMOs on it and stuff like that. Like you're, without knowing it, hindering, you know, growth and how you feel. You feel bad because you ate bad, and then you're thinking bad because you feel bad, and it just
that's true,
it compounds up.
You are what you eat.
Literally, we can sum up the whole thing by saying that.
Yeah, in fact, it's true because like you eat trash, you gonna be trash.
Are you pretty cautious on what you put in your body? Because I mean, I feel like it's. I mean, like we're having this conversation right now, but like we get out of here at 7:00, and I'm like, I don't have any food at the house.
Yeah, kind of. It depends. Like if I know I can get some good food, I'm going to obviously get the good food. But if I'm in a hurry, I'm in a rush, I gotta go to a fast food.
See, and that's that right there. Is the system it's the convenience.
Yeah.
Time. It goes back to time, bro. Like I don't have the time to go cook something or go grocery shopping or whatever it may be, and it's like, oh well, this is easy. I'll just do it this one time. And then tomorrow,
I got a conspiracy theory. I don't think time is real. You know,
you're gonna go there. You're gonna go there. It's not, bro. It's a man-made concept.
Because like, man, like it makes no sense. Like for us to feel so rushed with things, like
it's thoughts, it's timelines that we're putting there ourselves. Like, what's an example like? It's a perfect example. Like having your faith in God and that plan that's happening, and it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna follow this path, and then like as you're following this path, like for instance, like let's say you do a shoot, and you told them I'm gonna have these photos by this day or whatever, and then you put that timeline on your head or in your space or in that path that doesn't necessarily exist. Like you put that there, and then when you get to it and you don't hit it or whatever happens, you're like, oh man, I didn't do it in time.
Yeah.
But like,
who cares?
There's no limit.
And then like I did that literally yesterday. I told this client like, hey, I'm gonna send your wedding video tomorrow, and like I never did. Like no, I told him I'm gonna send it by the end of the day, and I still haven't sent it.
See, but they weren't expecting that
at
that time frame. You put that there in that time frame.
Yeah.
What was your first thought processes like leading up to like, man, what's this time thing?
Man, I don't know. Like I think it's like when I got into the working life. And I was like, bro, what is this? Like I don't got time for nothing, like, and then like lunch breaks. I was like, bro, this is the shortest time ever,
bro, I just thought of a thing I could break it down even more, like the systematic, like the oppression of like time and stuff. Like we're trained since we go to school.
Oh my God.
Bro, you got to be here at this time. You're here for this time to this time.
And notice how it's working hours.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly.
It's
you get
an
a
8-hour shift.
Yeah.
And then we get a lunch break.
Real. The school system is in place, and like this is not bashing teachers by any means. Like there needs to be teachers, and like people care, and like that's. I feel like outside of, you know what? I can't say it because I'm not a teacher. I don't know, but like I would say that teachers are doing their job to help the kid and inspire the kid. Not I'm going to teach you how to learn how biology works.
Because they know it's not necessary for today's world.
No.
And that's another thing. Another conspiracy theory that the school is designed to make us work. Because
that's where I was going with it. Like
it really teaches us how to be in a place for 8 hours and to listen. Listen to our boss, our teacher. And doing what they telling us to do. And if we don't do that, we get in trouble.
You fail.
Or you fail.
Yeah.
And you get too bad, you get kicked out, you get fired.
Yeah, and then that's messed up.
Gotta find another job, another school.
And I feel like that schools should be teaching like what the person likes. There's like this. I mean, in school you have like arts and then a gym and stuff like that. But like I feel like if I were to create a school, this could be documented. Like in the future, I might create a school. You never know.
Yeah,
if I created a school, it would be like. I would love it to be going in on their passions.
Yes.
And there's obviously we don't know exactly what we're gonna do when you're like in high school. We don't know exactly. Some people do, but like allowing an area for people to try arts and different forms of expression, because that's really at the end of the day we're all trying to express ourselves in some sort of way.
Exactly.
Whether it's through videography or clothing or music, whatever it is, it's a self-expression of yourself.
Yeah.
And if schools were going in on what people are and like what fuels them, I mean, the amount of love that will come out of that and like innovative things that will happen, people's thought processes will be growing and evolving at different rates.
We'll take over the world.
100%. But
there would be no government.
They don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they got us boxed.
I have see, now we're going back and forth. But this is cool though, because like we're going back and forth on like conspiracies that have to do with like real world things, and like there's inspiration in it. But what did you just say? I lost it. What was the last thing you said?
That's keeping us boxed, the government.
Government, okay. I think the government's extremely corrupt.
Oh,
I think it's there in place, and in the beginning it served a great purpose to like guide and install like laws and like how things should be done.
Yeah.
But I feel like that the people have outgrown the government.
Yes.
And now they're almost like trying to prevent people to becoming the best version of themselves, because more people become aware that like we don't necessarily need you to tell us how to live, because if we're living out of love and care,
we good.
Bro, I don't know. I think it's the whole suppression thing that's going on.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, the government really got us really trapped. They ain't got me trapped because.
But it's the facade of it, and like that'll go into like that's like the whole Matrix type thing. Like they are creating the Matrix that we are living in the world or society.
It's a bubble.
Yeah.
it's really a bubble because I don't know. Then you got like these big companies, you know, like, you know, Google, Amazon, you know, they have like millions of employees. You know, they got them all boxed. You know, like imagine if they created something like this world would be.
If everybody was like, and not everybody is supposed to do that. And like that's a fair point to bring up as well. Like there is people that are here to spread love. Maybe you're not supposed to like invent something, but maybe you're supposed to spread love and positivity. And you meet somebody, and then because you know you have a kid, and then you're spreading love and positivity and showing love on them. That kid could be the one that grows up and it has that idea that changes the world. But like it's suppressing. It goes back to the school thing. Like you said, like it was people working for Amazon. Like no offense to them, you gotta do what you gotta do to make money. Everyone's gotta work. Yeah. But are you working for yourself? Yeah. Or are you working for somebody else?
Are you building outside of your job? Because there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, you know, but you have to build something outside of that.
You got to clock in when you clock out.
Yeah, exactly. Now you really got to clock in when you clock out.
That's where, unless, see, I've said this before, and I feel like I've been saying that a lot on the podcast where I'm like, I've said this before on the previous podcast, but like I was fortunate to stumble into like serving in that world because it allowed me to meet people and still grow the brand at the same time. But like I don't know what I would do if I had to go like clock in and I couldn't be promoting something or like couldn't be like expressing myself in some sort of way. I don't know, but I think the school system's going back to that. Like it drains your creativity and makes you reliant versus self-sufficient and creative.
Yeah, it does, man. It drains you too much. You know, it's pretty sad. You know,
it is sad, but these types of conversations are what are going to make people more aware of it, I guess. I mean,
facts.
I hope it doesn't offend anybody, but at the same time, like, it is what it is.
But people, you know, what's scary is that, like, people ignore so much. Yeah. They know it, you know, but they still ignore it, you know, and you got to get out that habit of just ignoring things and really, like, getting into it.
What would you say to do if somebody was like, someone was listening to this and they're like, man, what these guys are saying is making a lot of sense, and they didn't know where to start? What would you recommend?
Write it down, you know, write it down.
It comes full circle.
Then you got to do your research and get your perspective on it, you know, like writing it down. You know, sometimes I'll watch a video and they'll tell you, write this down real quick. And you don't even write it down. You're like, I'm going to just remember it, you know, but nah, you definitely not going to remember that. You really have to write it down.
I was, me and Aaron got into a bunch of different like biblical conversations and stuff like that of it yesterday, but like on my like spiritual journey of like, I was telling him, and I'll say it again, like I've never gone to church with my family growing up. It's kind of been like a self-discovery journey of God in the Spirit. But like the first verse that I was shown in a supernatural way and how I found it, blah blah blah, was a verse out of Revelation. It was 21:5, and it was saying, write this down because these words are trustworthy and true. Yeah. And like, there it is, bro. It's right there. Write this down. And if you look at that in your perspective, like you're telling yourself that, write this down because these words are trustworthy and true. What you write down is trustworthy and true.
It is, man. Yeah, that's the thing. The Bible is slept on, man. Like it has some great verses. Like I can share you like two of my favorite verses.
What's your
Matthew 6:33? You know, this verse right here made me move. You know, and trust God. You know, it's seek God and His righteousness, and everything shall be added unto you. You know, like imagine if you just seek God, He'll just add everything to you. You know, and that's how I'm living my life. You know, so whenever things happen, bad, like I don't get mad. Like you won't get that reaction out of me, man, because I really feel like everything happens for a reason, and there's no need for me to trip. So. And
I think in that verse specifically, like you're saying, like seeking God, it's not necessarily like you're looking for a person aspect, but it's seeking God in situations.
Yes,
on how they
align everything with God.
With that perspective, that higher version of yourself.
Yes.
Like for instance, you go to do a shoot and your battery's dead. Yeah. Like you could be like, oh, it's off, everything's off, but you could be positive and seek that higher route. And like there's two different perspectives, and I think that it's a perspective of positivity and enlightenment and love, and like you can't get upset if you're in love. If you, I mean, everybody can get upset. There's both sides, but like reminding yourself when those negative emotions happen or thoughts or feelings to seek God.
Exactly, man.
What's the other one?
Second verse is 2 Corinthians 5:7. For we to walk by faith and not by sight. You know, if you look at today's world, and if you're walking by the sight of everything, you know, you're going to fail, man, because you're going to get so caught up in the world. You're just going to be chasing things, you know. But if you walk by faith, you're trusting God with things, and you're giving everything to Him, and you're allowing your spirit to lead. You know, we have two things in our bodies. We have the spirit and flesh, you know, and if you're constantly like walking by sight, you're feeding your flesh. Yeah. And you don't want your flesh to get fat, bro, because it's over. Like, you know, it's going to be hard to make your flesh come back down and weak, you know, so you have to walk by faith to feed your spirit.
And like you said, you just said, like, the more you lead in that human flesh side, like you said, you don't want to get fat. Like, that is another terminology for your ego.
Yes.
Like, you're building that ego. You said,
man.
And then at that point, like, it's harder to get back on this side because your ego is going to be offended. Like, oh, wait, I've gotten this far. I've done this. I've done that. Versus that's not what it's about. It's
and sometimes, man, blessings can come from the devil, you know, like.
If you perceive it in a positive way. Yeah.
You know, like, sometimes God allows you to, well, I'm not going to even say God because God is good, man. And, you know, the devil allows you to prosper in some things, man.
Humanly things.
You're just constantly building it up to a point where it's going to be hard to come down from that unless you just wipe it all out, you know. And 9 times out of 10, you're not finna wipe all your things out.
I think we talked about this at Planet Fitness that one day. How many times I'm going to reference that, but like, I think I said to you, and if not, you'll like it, but I think we're affected the most by the things we can't see. Yeah. Like frequency, sound, all that stuff, and even God. You can't see God, but you can see God in things.
Yes.
And you can see God in you can see God in people, you can see the beauty of creation in things, which is wild because tie that full circle back to the creative outlet of the beauty, like you said, when you see somebody with this passion about a sport or whatever they're doing, like that's that divinity in them.
Yes.
And you're capturing that and bringing that to light.
Man, that's what it's all about, man. That's crazy how I just went it. Full
it's wild.
That's crazy.
But that's I love that, bro. Like I love trying to find points and like finding out how they connect. Which is like
you're good with that. I see.
And that's why, like,
I didn't even notice that.
But that's in the beginning. I was like, "What's that thing?" Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, it is, man.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. That blows my mind.
Yeah, facts. It does. It blows my mind.
And it's what's wild about this conversation happening right now is that this stemmed from. Let's talk about conspiracies.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Like, man, what if schools talked about conspiracies, man?
No, bro. That would disrupt so many things, bro. Like, they're like, okay, today we're gonna learn about how we are not teaching you what you're supposed to be taught. Like, but that saying, like, anyone that's a teacher that may be listening to, I don't want that to come off offensive to them by any means, because it's above that. Like, you're being taught, or you're teaching what you're being told to taught or teach. I don't know if I just said that right. You're being told to teach. What am I saying right now? You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
But they're being told what to teach, and it's like, cool. I mean, that's the job. Like, that's where you are still being a teacher, but like the people that are pulling the strings of what to be taught, like, you're missing the point. Yeah, the whole point, bro.
And I want to do teachers. No offense, but I just wonder, do teachers ever think like this is such useless like information that I'm spreading? You know.
I feel like it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I were to be, I guess. See, but that's why, like earlier, like I was saying, I feel like that a lot of teachers are probably teaching for that ability to make an impact on a kid's life, not necessarily to make sure that they learn how 4 + 4 is. It's like, I want to be here for like a safe area, like maybe the home life's not that good. Like, I want to be that inspiration for that kid.
And shout out to all teachers like that, because they were very helpful in school.
You had something like that?
I had.
What did you take from them? Like,
just learning
that
from
safety of like to learn.
Yeah, you know, just the importance of learning, period. Yeah. You know, because it's so important to learn. And you know, like, it was some teachers that just loving, you know, sometimes I didn't have the love, you know, just them going in class and just sharing me love, like that was I needed that,
The learning thing just made me think. See, like that's what I'm saying. Like before it started, it's like you'll say stuff and it'll pop up, and I'm like, ooh, the learning aspect. Going back to how like schools like teaching you this is about you go for this time 9 to 5, this. Learning stops when you're out of school.
Ooh, oh my God!
But learning,
and then people get so burnt out, like they don't want to learn no more.
And like the mentality of like, all right, we go through these 12 years, you graduate, and then I don't have to go to school anymore. But what's school? Learning. But learning doesn't stop, and if you are not actively searching for a way, whether it's personal learning or business learning or whatever it may be, like there's no growth. Man,
Tyler, I think you just unlocked something for me. I ain't gonna lie, because it's true. Like whenever they graduate, they're like, "Oh my God, no more school."
Yeah. I mean, that's how I was.
No more learning.
That's how I was. But
no,
it don't stop,
man.
It just begins.
It just begins, like really, like, and that's the thing. Like I remember when I was in high school, adults always used to tell me like, man, this life is crazy. Like they used to like warn us. You know how they used to warn us? But I get what they were saying,
Wait, like what do you mean, like
kind of trying to put fear in us, like
it's you don't understand how it is outside of school.
You don't know how it is, and like you need to go.
The real world sucks.
Yeah, the real world sucks. You need to go to college.
Yeah.
No. Y'all just stopped learning it after y'all graduated high school. That's why it kind of sucked for y'all. Like you have to dig into things whenever you graduate.
That's wild, man. Yeah. It's almost like you have to like look at the opposite of what's coming in sometimes. Even like that's a great thing for like negative influences. Like look at the opposite, or like what's the real meaning behind this.
Yeah.
And I feel like that right there. Not saying look at like the opposite, but like verses in the Bible. Like what's it mean? Like what's it really saying? Like how can it resonate with me? How can I apply it in my life?
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh my God, that's big. Because whenever you read a verse, you can't just be like, okay.
If you read it for what it is, you'll never understand what it means.
You never know it. You have to, like actually like kind of apply it to your life. You like kind of like, do the opposite. And if you do the opposite of what the Bible says, sometimes you learn things.
Yeah.
You learn so much, like.
You just unlock something
if you're not following those 10 commandments, you do something bad, you learn from that, like, all right, I'm going to make sure I follow that.
With that, too, you can either learn from it or you let it destroy you.
Yes.
Which is...
Yes,
bro,
man.
You're hyping me up right now, because when I say it, you're like, yes.
Yeah, bro.
You're feeling it, bro.
It's crazy.
Man.
This has been...
I love this, because, like, you don't know where it's going to go. And I think we're hitting some good spots right now.
Yeah,
this is some good information.
Yeah, that was good. I can't wait to go home, man.
and
just watch this, like
you're gonna like, did I say that? Man, like where'd that come from?
I didn't mean to say that. Yeah,
bro. Facts. And what's cool though about this type of conversation too is that and I'm not like saying you have to go share this, but I would imagine you're gonna share it and tell people. Like, hey, I was on this podcast, like, check it out.
Oh, yeah.
And you have people around that age. You guys just got out of high school not too long ago.
Oh, yeah.
People are probably questioning it.
Yeah, because people finna tune into this, 100%. Because, like, people know that, hey, like, I talk a lot. Like, I don't talk a lot. I talk about important things, you know. And, my friend group, they know that, like, we can always talk about something good. Especially like when I'm around, because I'm gonna like dig into something. Yeah. And I'm gonna ask questions. So, yeah.
Which is good. So you have to ask questions.
You have to ask questions. Like when I was at that hold on, what you about to say?
I was just say, what about school? You gotta ask questions to understand, bro. And take that concept outside of school. Like, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, questions is important. Yeah, I was at TSU. I had an embarrassing moment. I went up to one of the TSU head coaches, right? I didn't know. I went up to him. I was like, hey, I heard that you was the assistant coach. He was like, man, I'm the head coach. And I don't think he liked that. But, just me just coming up to him and just talking to him, like, I didn't really care about feeling like the embarrassment because, I got to tell him what I really want. I was trying to tell him, hey, like, I'm trying to get hired, like, to be the videographer here, I got to tell him that, that's what really mattered. And what I'm trying to say is you can't fear of just talk, bro. You have to go speak, man.
Because if you that specific situation. If you were like, man, I don't know if he's head coach or assistant coach, or I don't know if you could have been like, I'm just not going to ask him. Like, maybe I'll find out.
Then I feel that regret.
Yeah.
You'll feel the instant regret. I'd rather have the embarrassment than the regret, you know, and that's what a lot of things, because I'd embarrass myself in a lot of like things, but I never regretted it because I've, you know.
Learned from it.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
Something I've been asking people is, if you can go back to any age in your life so far and give yourself advice, what would it be?
Sure. I don't know. I don't like these type of questions because
that's why I ask them.
Because I don't really like. I don't know.
And it wouldn't be think of it as like it's not something that you would like change.
All right.
But like something that you could have told yourself when you maybe were in a
I mean,
situation.
all right. So my freshman year, I'll probably tell myself record the basketball games, like.
Because I mean, that's free. That's footage
That's
right there.
free.
You could have had a head start.
That's a portfolio, man.
Yeah.
Imagine from freshman year to senior year. You know, ain't no telling. I'll probably be filming NBA games right now.
I mean,
you know,
that's for real though. You never know.
You know,
but you can break that down to take more opportunity.
Yes, like take advantage of things, like
time that you have. Like
like dude, like take advantage of everything. You know, if you're in school right now, you have the perfect opportunity to build something and to grow something. Like, you know, you could start a brand in high school. That's free people.
I wish I had.
Start a brand, start a business in high school. You know, like, because you have 4 years to start something and build it. Like 4 years is enough time to get something going.
And that, like you said, like that, you've got people around, and like that's one thing I wish I had. Like if I had WorthWhile in high school, for one, I would have been a different person. I guess everything happens when it's supposed to, because I didn't know nearly enough about myself to even begin to push something like that. So
exactly.
I mean, it all happens how it's supposed to. But well, I mean, it's valuable time.
Yeah, it is,
especially in school time frame where like we are younger still, and you have an imagination, you still have dreams, you still have aspirations, and like I want to do these things. As you go through the school system, like you're gonna your thoughts go to, all right, well, I'm not doing that, and I'm gonna switch to what I'm gonna go to school for this career instead of your dream.
I remember I playing the fitness. I was telling you how I probably wanted to get into tech, but you know that kind of just changed. You know, like now I realize, and like you know over the weekend, I was like, bro, I really want to just pursue this. And, you know, I do believe in myself that, you know, I will find a way to, you know, be able to be stabilized with this. You know,
I mean, that's the faith. That's the seeking God in what you do.
Exactly, because if I did go, you know, follow my plan of just, you know, doing a little tech job and doing photography on the side, like that, I leave no room from God to work in my life and to do the unknown. You know, and that's what's beautiful when you walk in the unknown. Like God take you places that you've never imagined. You know, like people already got their head filled up with what they want to do,
what they think they want to do,
what they think, and it's not even like it's not what God has for them. You know, and then they get surprised, like when something happens, they're like, "No, this is not what I wanted.
It's not what it's supposed to be. It's not what I thought it was going to be."
Yeah, exactly.
And then that goes to the connection between like your thoughts are different than your intuition, your feelings.
Yeah.
Like, what do you feel? What do you feel like you want to do? Let that's that God in you being led, bro. That light, bro. It's been a powerful conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like it started as like I don't know. Like I could tell you were like kind of hesitant on like opening up a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be too early with it.
No, I feel that. But like the way it evolved blows my mind, honestly. Like because we got to literally what just happened. Like just go back and look at it. It's like we hit a point where it was like, man. And for me personally, me like leading the podcast, I'm like I don't know what to ask next, and I bring up conspiracies.
Yeah,
and then look what kind of knowledge came out of that.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, a lot of knowledge just popped up. Like
that's the light coming through, right?
Yeah.
Shining on the spotlight.
Yeah, it is.
The spotlight.
It's kind of hot in here too.
It is hot in here. That's because the AC's off. No,
it's all good.
Well, bro, I mean, let everybody know again, like where they can find you and everything.
Man, make sure. Should I look at the camera?
Yeah, bro. Stare them in the eyes.
All right, so make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. It's at JStrikkee with 2 K's, 2 E's. And then make sure y'all follow my boy Tyler. I'm pretty sure y'all are going to be following Tyler if y'all seen it. But if you never know, man, he has one of the dopest brands ever. And WorthWhile is really changing like people's lives. You know, like, I got it on me right now. I don't think y'all can see it, but whenever I look in the mirror, it says that you are worth it, and it's very true. And that's what I love about this brand. So yeah.
I appreciate that, bro. Well, go ahead and open this.
I
boy,
got
bro.
another shirt.
Yeah.
I already wear this shirt every day, so I'm gonna definitely rock this shirt every day. Oh yeah, this is fire. Blue is my favorite color.
Oof.
Oh yeah, this is fire.
Bro.
Yo, bro, appreciate that,
Of course,
man.
bro.
Yes,
Show off in the camera, bro. Let me see it, bro.
I know the vibes. Finna be rocking this every day. It's probably gonna turn yellow.
Bro, did you ever play Modern Warfare 2 back in the day, bro?
Bro, I lived on that game.
That's the Blue Tiger camera.
No way.
It looks like it, bro.
Oh my god. I used to always have the red one.
Oh, the Red Tiger, bro.
Hey, bro, MW2, I miss those
Bro, that was
days.
a classic game.
They remastered it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get it?
I'll be on the road.
Oh, you gonna be on the road? He ain't got no more time for games, man. Chasing dreams, man.
Hey, I'll still get a game in. I'll quick scope here and there, bro.
Chasing dreams, man.
Well, appreciate you coming on again, bro.
Yeah, yes, sir. Appreciate you for inviting me out, man.
Hey, much love always.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
excited to watch you grow and see what evolves from it, bro.
Yes, sir, man.
Martin. Well, everyone, never forget you're worthwhile. Always be yourself and strive to be the best you that you can be. And I've never really said this on them yet, but please like and subscribe because we need this to grow and reach more people. So share it, let people know they're worth it, and be you. Thank you for tuning in to this week's Worthwhile Spotlight. Our goal is to motivate people to become the best version of themselves possible through the power of storytelling. Our stories are written by the things that we experienced growing up, and these experiences, negative and positive, shape who we are and what we stand for. The beautiful thing about your story is that you get to decide how it's told. So as a diamond in the rough of life, hang tight and let your light shine bright.